Hi, I'm Johnny. I'm a global artist ambassador for Phoenix 360, and I'm blessed to be joined today by the actor and music artist and TV presenter, Papa Shock. Hey, Shock, what's up, man? How are you?
How you doing, Johnny?
I'm
It's
doing
great
great,
to see
brother.
you, man.
It's good to see you
I was
too, man.
looking.
Respect.
Was,
Listen, man, I'm looking forward
yeah,
to sharing your story in terms of your art and your journey, Shock. But first, I'd like to tune into some of your TV presenting. Is that cool?
yeah, sure. No
Great.
worries.
Okay, everybody, let's tune in now to some of the television presenting from Papa Shock.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on Homeboys TV, exclusively covering the East African Superbike Championships taking place right here in Athi River at the famous place called the Whistling Morans. And of course, one of the things that we are experiencing here is scorching heat. You might even think it's Redson and Juakali performing at the same time. Anyway, my name is Bosha Kodori, your host for the event, and of course my co-presenter who we are going to be commentating with is none other than Mad Max, also called Bill, who has been one of the biggest racers in this event, but today he will be on the other side of the mic, and so we'll be listening over onto him. And now there are
Hey, Shock, great, man. Great to share some of your work and
Yep.
looking forward to learning about you. Can you tell me, where are you from and how did you get involved in these multiple forms of art?
Well, I'm from Kenya, Nairobi. Um, I guess it's more easier to make people understand that's the place where Barack Obama hails from,
That's right.
and
Right.
yeah. So, um, well, I don't know. I started acting when I was 4 years old.
Wow,
You
yeah.
know, I think showbiz has been in my blood ever since I was born. And the first time when I was 4 years old, I was put on stage and told to act as a drunkard.
Oh.
And when I finished acting as a drunkard, I won first prize, and they asked me, "Where did you learn from?" I said, "I looked at my father," and that's the day he quit drinking. So uh,
Some
I
blessings
figured,
there. Yeah.
so I figured, you know what, if I could be able to touch my father on that level, how many more people can I be able to reach out to? And I guess from there the journey never stopped. So after high school, it was a bit really tough, you know. Excuse me.
Mhm.
Having grown up, next to one of the largest slums in Africa
Mm.
called Kibra, it was pretty hard, sort of like to go to college and go to campus and learn this stuff. So
Right.
what I started doing is just picking any books that I could pick, and I started learning on my own. Then there was the national broadcaster that is out here in Kenya. It's called KBC, Kenya National Broadcasting Corporation,
Uh-huh.
and they were looking for 7 people, and there were 650 of us.
I see.
Now I walk into this whole thing, not having any papers as such, and just went through the whole rigorous process. And we are like 14 people left to, when they're choosing the last presenter. And everybody, we're all sitting out there. We're now down to 14. It was really hard because it was a case of don't call us, we'll call you.
Right.
So 14 guys down the line, everybody's going in. I see people coming out crying. Other people are coming out really sweating. And I said, man, what's going on in that room? So I get in over there, and the 14 managers are there, and they start shooting questions at me left, right, and center, and I keep answering. And you know, um, one of the other languages apart from English here is Swahili.
Okay.
So you get one person shoot a question to you in Swahili, another person shoot a question to you in English, and eventually I managed to finish it. And just before I walked out the door, I turned around and I said, "Excuse me, y'all, because y'all have been talking to me and asking me the questions. Can I ask you one?" And so they were like all totally dumbfounded. And I said, "I don't know what the hell you guys were doing to those guys out there who came out sweating and some crying, but I really thank you for not doing that to me." And then they all bust out laughing, right? And
Right.
I
Yeah.
walk out the door and I started sweating. But eventually they told me that that one thing that I did last was the one thing that got me hired.
That's
And they were
cool
like, yeah.
story, man. That's a, that's what set you apart. You know what I mean?
Completely,
It was
completely.
having the confidence and like you know what I mean, and making them laugh and relating to them.
Right,
They're like, man,
right,
this guy's special. Let's
right.
recruit him. You know. That's
Right.
cool. And also that, you know, you found it in your blood to be a performer at that tender age. And now you've really followed your dream. And also, you know, you witnessed a lot of challenges being next to the slum and being able to see, you know, the strife and just in witnessing that we experience in essence, you know, that those feelings of desperation. So I think that that's also very valuable in establishing your humility, which is obviously a real great attribute to have when you are portraying another character and or if you're in a position like we are as presenters and working with others so that they'll naturally express themselves and feel comfortable to do so. So I love that you have these different kinds of dynamics and different arts that you perform. You know, can I ask you this question? I mean, coming from Africa and also, you know, relating to just your knowledge of just the entertainment industry, are there any particular actors or music artists that you're a fan of that help inspire you?
Um, okay, I don't think I'll be biased if I say Ray Fiennes is one of them because I've
Yeah.
acted next to him in a supporting role in a movie called The Constant Gardener. So you can go check it out. But one of the biggest guys who's really inspired me and I always love his journey is Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
And one of the things that Denzel said, um, you know, when he was just giving an award to Sydney, getting his first award actually.
Mm.
And he said, he was talking about Sidney Poitier. And one of the things he said was, be very careful about the first thing you choose when you're going into the acting business. The
Mm.
first thing you choose in terms of the first type of movie that you want to act in, because that will be your character for the rest of your life.
I
So if
see.
you're a bad guy, you're going to have to be a bad guy most of the movies that you do. And I guess it's also the same with artistry in any form, be it music. In, excuse me. If I, for example, start playing rock music, you know, I start singing rock or I start singing reggae, you've already targeted your niche and you need to go with them. So guys like Denzel, musically, I'm a reggae person, so obviously Bob Marley has to take that
Me
on.
too, man. Yes.
If I never seen any other artist who has stayed that long in so many countries across the globe like Bob Marley has. I mean, he just did it. I think that's the epitome of it all. He died such a long time ago, but even my children and the siblings who I have, all of them know about Bob Marley. So I
Oh,
think
yes.
for me, he did
Absolutely.
it, and maybe Elvis Presley as well. No
Mhm.
doubt, because I love rock as well.
Yeah, well, listen, I love those artists as well. I mean, Bob Marley is a prophet. I love his words. I love his music and sound and his message of one love. And he'll always be among my greatest heroes. And I try and emulate that feeling and energy and vibe the most I can, you know, in my own personality. And I'm just thankful to have heard you also, you know, feel the same sensitivity towards Bob. What an
Absolutely.
amazing performer and human being. And so at any rate, I really appreciate that a lot, Shak. Now, let me ask this question. What are you working on now? You mentioned, you know, the film project that you were involved with some very, you know, top notch talent and actors, Rave, Fiennes and others. What are you working on now?
At the moment, pretty much starting a certain company that is going to be dealing with suicide cases that we have in the country.
Oh, I see.
It's really been on the increase, especially the artistry field that I'm in.
Hmm.
Um, and I just feel like, in December, probably this COVID had something to do with it. We lost about 70 young guys. 2 weeks ago, I just lost another young guy who just jumped off a balcony. Um, and it's just so many people who are, you know, dying and nobody's talking to them. And in 2017, we had 1,708 people commit suicide, 75% of them young men.
Yes.
So I'm pushing to see how we can be able to save a lot of them. And in the art, it's so weird that you find like in the entertainment industry out here, the comedians are the ones who are committing suicide, and they're supposed to be like the funniest dudes, you know. So I
Right.
think there's a lot. People are not talking to each other, especially us young men. We're not talking to each other, asking each other, "Yo, are you all right? You know, are you good?" And I think that is one of the most important things for me. You know, save one, teach one kind of
Listen,
attitude.
that is beautiful, man. And you're right. That's a tragic epidemic in
Totally.
suicide and teen suicide in particular. It saddens me so much because I think these individuals, these young men, haven't been here long enough to recognize and to have learned and discovered that they're truly divine and that that being here is important for not only themselves but the rest of creation. And so
Absolutely.
my goal as well, Shock, is to try and reflect that idea back to people so that they recognize their own divinity and they feel included and they feel a part of a greater love. And that's what I think Bob was trying to tell us about one love. It is
Absolutely.
certainly
And you know
one love.
something else, John, something else, the podium that you started with Phoenix, the brilliant thing about it, you know, out here, like if you, I mean, you've listened to some of my music. It's so hard for us to do music videos out here because of lack of support from the right kind of people. And I
Mm,
think so. We have a lot of artists. You know, like one of the greatest thing about being an artist, you don't have to be a child of your country. An artist can be adopted by any country. You know,
yes.
you can leave here and people love what you're doing, and somebody says, you know, let me give you a boost. And I think it's so important because if you can be able to assist somebody to be busy, and you know, like now the way I'm thinking about my music, after getting to speak with some of the guys behind the scenes in Phoenix, and also talking to you, Johnny, this kind of podium is so important because you never know out there who's listening. You never know who's going to see you. And I think my life is about, and even having told you that I came from that side of the slum,
Yes.
is to give hope. I think that is the most important thing. And I really thank you guys for what you're doing and keep on doing it. And may it keep on growing. And I believe, even from my end, I would love to share ideas should anything as such arise. So,
Oh
yeah,
man, Papa Shock, it is such a blessing to connect with you, brother. And thank you so
thank
much for the kindness
thank
and
you.
appreciation
Thank you.
for the Phoenix
Thank you.
360 platform and for me personally. And, you know, I think that you are correct that ultimately what we're doing is trying to create a cooperative of voices that are here to support and present and promote the arts and also the divine in each of these artists and what they bring, you know, and what they can provide as far as inspiration to others, to also take leaps of faith and to participate together. And so at any rate, it's like a gigantic chorus. Um, and we want to invite everyone to sing. So at any rate, I really appreciate hearing your song and learning your story, and we're looking forward to more of your progress. So tell me about your social media. Do you use it pretty actively to promote yourself?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm pretty big on. I'm pretty much a Facebook guy. I'm
Uh-huh.
just starting to and a lot of the stuff that I do is of course on YouTube, mainly because of the TV stations that I generally work with. Because I'm also a commentator, so
Uh-huh. Excellent,
um,
bro. Yes.
I'm like all over the place in showbiz. But you know,
Yes.
so yeah, on Facebook I go by the name Bo Shark Odor.
Uh-huh.
So if anybody is looking for me, yeah, you can
Well, we
catch me
will.
there, and then you get to know all the other handles that I have. The musical side, still working on it. As you can check me out on SoundCloud, and Papa Shark is quite easy to get. You'll be able to see some of my music, and hopefully even with the kind of message that is in my music. I don't want just my music to be, you know, like when you look at Bob, every single song of his has got an underlying message of positivity. So that is a sort of kind of approach that I want to take with my music, inspire.
That's right, man. I love it, bud. Well, listen, I want everyone to tune in to the social media channels that you find below our interview to follow Papa Shock and also look for him rising on Phoenix 360. And brother, listen, it is such a pleasure to connect with you. Thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you, John, for hosting me. I really appreciate it. And what can I say? Let's keep up the good work.
Respect. Let's, Papa Shock. Take care, my brother.
You too, brother.
All right, man. Cheers.
Yeah. It's Denmark and Kenya coming together. Hey, yo, Fafa, let me go.
The food palace.
I dedicate this to Fafa. Papa Shock here. Yeah. No way. Tomorrow's gonna be a better day. I know it's been a really long day, but remember, you will make it. No way. Tomorrow's gonna be a better day. I know it's been a really long day, but remember, you will make it.